Hello everyone, this is Manlio Perugini, and today I'm going to show you how to include individual accommodations for your time-limited activities, namely quizzes and assignments. I'm going to focus on quizzes, as they are, as we all know too well, the trickiest activities, but the settings we will look at can be used for assignments too. Now, let's imagine that we had already set our midterm, final, whatever quiz activity with all the questions, the score, the dates and timing neatly set. We might have, for instance, a 2 hours window during which the students can take the quiz, which they have 30 minutes for. Again, we're all set and ready to focus on our next task when we receive a communication informing us that one or more students have the right to have more time, specifically 50% more. This means, in our present example, 60 minutes. Do we need to create a separate exam for them? The answer is not at all. All we need to do is adding a user override. Step 1. Access the quiz. Step 2. Click User Overrides. Step 3. Click Add User Override. Step 4. Select a student. I'm going to select a mock student for our example. Step 5. Adjust the settings accordingly. Now, in our particular case, the accommodation is well within the set window, so we only need to change the time limit. Step 6. Save, and you're good to go. Do you need to add another override? Then lather, rinse, repeat. Or rather, save and enter another override. Further overrides can also be added at a later moment. Now we save. If you see this dreadful message, fear not, for it just means that your quiz is currently invisible. Therefore, the override cannot work at the moment, but it will as soon as you make the quiz visible. Now, what if the accommodation ends up taking more than the overall available time, such as when we decide that the time window and time limit have to match, as in the current case, where we have a 30 minutes time window and a 30 minutes time limit. Well, the recipe is almost the same, but with a little twist. Step 1, access the quiz. Step 2, click User Overrides. Step 3, click Add User Override. Step 4, select a student. Step 5, adjust the settings accordingly. For this quiz, we not only need to adjust the time limit, but also the times, only the closing time, in this case, or both opening and closing time, depending on the specific accommodation. Once we make sure that the time limit is within or matching the time window within the override, we can proceed to Step 6, Save. And we're good to go. For assignments, the process is exactly the same, bar the time limit, since that feature is not available for that kind of activity. In turn, you can set an override for the cut-off date, the date after which late submissions are no longer allowed without the instructor manually granting an extension. From the student perspective, nothing really changes. Regular students will see the regular settings, while overridden, for lack of a better word, students will see their own. Among the benefits of using user overrides, there is avoiding the multiplication of activities, which makes the Moodle page clunkier, requires further work to be set, and affects the Moodle gradebook in a frightful way. I hope this helps. If you have questions, please contact us at moodlesupport@johnkabot.edu.